Flying Scotsman lands in Glasgow. Next.
Check. Yeah.
Scout. Simple. Honey, I'm a fine boy, no pimples. Ooh, yeah, my high's covered in tinsel. I gon' pop and I won't stop. I think I should remind them I'm about to clean up like a Dyson. Them high rises can block your horizon. Disturbing London is the city that I'm from. We just feel like the tune, we make the DJ rewind them.
The man's an absolute genius.
To finally get my hands on it was a wee bit special.
It's glory, Gary Anderson! Gary Anderson is the creme de la creme!
The world's a great place if you're Gary Anderson.
Blink and you will miss it, darts.
Gary Anderson shows you have it all.
Hello, welcome back to the hottest ticket in sport. This is the Betway Premier League Darts, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation, coming to you live on Sky Sports from the magnificent city of Glasgow. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the players. Would you please welcome the winner of 11 PDC ranking events? It's Chizzy! Dave Chisnall! and gentlemen, it's time to welcome home the pride of Scotland, the two-time Premier League champion, the former
These are your people. Will he make it his night by beating Dave Chisnall? Savour this. Incredible.
That's a fantastic amount of support for Gary Anderson. And Dave Chisnall, he's got to be feeling the electricity as well. You know, you can't be in this sort of an atmosphere and not get fired up.
He was biting his lip as he made his way on stage. Trying to fight back the tears, he said.
He's the sort, he really wants to give a performance worthy of the reception he's had. And he always wants to please. It might get in the way of a perfect game or not. I don't know, it might produce one. Let's hope so.
Rod Harrington and Rod stood in commentary.
Thanks, Dave. It's a feeling felt by very few sportsmen, very few times. The feeling when you stride onto stage and you look round and you think they've all come to watch me play. And they're all singing my name. And that's the reception that greeted Gary Anderson here at the Hydro. And poor old Chizzy is the pantomime villain. One of the most likeable lads in world darts. And the poor bloke is going to get it in the neck for the next half hour or so. Let's hope he plays well too as well, Rob.
I think he will. Chizzy's a sort of like James Wade, who just get up there and it doesn't affect him too much like it would do other players. But you're right, he's one of the most likeable fellas in the game. You'll never see him up in front of a disciplinary committee, that's for sure. He just isn't that sort of person. But it's 11,000 people. They're going to give him a bit of stick as Gary Anderson fires in his first. But I was going to say, well, there's sometimes when you're in front of your home crowd like this, it can be a bit daunting to you as well. And sometimes it can take a time to get going. But however, not for Gary Anderson.
We're now looking for, well, he was looking for 96, now he's looking for 100 to leave 36. Well, interesting, if Chizzy could pin this, that leaves the bullseye. Well, Anderson goes one up after Chisnall missed the ball. Yes, you made a good point there, Rod, about sometimes it can work the other way when you're playing in front of your home crowd, and it can make the pressure ratchet up too much. But Anderson, since the darts moved to the Hydro where we are tonight in Glasgow, has played 4 and won 4. Last year he had to play a couple of times because he was ill on the first night. He beat Lewis and Wright, he beat Hybrex in 2015, in 2014 he beat Dave Chisnall. So he's got a 100% record in front of these adoring fans.
And he does need a win, Rodders. I mean, if he loses to Chizzy, he's on 5 points. He's only then 1 game away, literally, from that relegation. So if things went against him tonight and next week, pressure will be on the two-time world champion. However, 2 maximums already for Gary Anderson. We're in the second leg.
Chizzy's had a 120 with a dart on the floor as well, but he's in danger here of going 2 down. In fact, almost certain to go 2 down as the Flying Scotsman eyes up double 16. He will be back for 3 more, starting on double 8. Four now. And it goes. Anderson goes 2 up.
Yes, a very tidy start from the Flying Scotsman. Exactly what this crowd wanted to see. However, Chizzy's not going to lay down and take it lightly. You know he'll be fighting all the way.
Well, Rodney, in the Premier League, whenever a maximum is hit, they all go up with the placards and a cacophony of sound. On that occasion, Chisnall hit a 180 and it was greeted by a cacophony of booing.
Booing, yes.
Going on. Important leg though for Dave Chisnall here with the throw. He doesn't want to be going 3-zip down, 2 breaks down.
You're exactly right. 81. He's in control though. He's going to get 6 darts from 40. He should get 6 darts from 140. That's a hat trick of maximums for Gary Anderson. And that previous visit from Chizzy, when a bit scruffy, has opened the door now for Anderson. And all of a sudden, 1 minute, Chisnall's looking right, I'll get this leg. And now, the double 18, it is! Nicks the leg from right under Chisnall's nose.
Well, he cleaned up the 147 like another legendary Scottish former world champion, Stephen Hendry. And then goes off like a bonfire night firework display at the start of the fourth leg with his fourth maximum.
76.
Well, at the moment, it's not just one rocket, it's the whole box has gone up. We have an 118 average. If he keeps that up in front of his home crowd, well.
Well, that's a record for the venue, almost 119, and would be the third highest ever on TV, but it's going to dip a bit after that visit. Chisnall must be wondering what's going on up there. He had that leg in control, as you said, Rob. A couple of scruffy visits, and then Anderson mocked up the 147, and it was gone.
Well, that's his second maximum. Of course, Chizzy, you know, that's a great average. But what you've got to realise, he's only had one dart at the bullseye. That does keep your average up, and you're not shooting at the double. But Chizzy now, can he? Well, Anderson, now he's already hit this 2 out of the 3 times, Gary Anderson, and it has been first dart. Double 14 now. Oh well, never mind. Same red sort of double.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, they all come alike, they're all the same size. Chisnall had that Beano last week with the double salvo in Exeter when he beat Wade and Van Barneveld. Is getting a right old towel in here, north of the border. You made the point, Rod, and it was a good point too. Anderson, having beaten Yellow Class in week 2, that's the only match he's won up to press. And now it's a 9-dart possibility for Dave Chisnall.
I think he may get a cheer if Dave Chisnall takes this out. It won't be booing, it'll be cheering, so come on, Chiz. Well, this is where he's got to be careful, because he was in control of an earlier leg, and all of a sudden Anderson hits a big score, takes the check out.
Well, Dave Chisnall is about to have his first dart at the outer ring in this match. As Rod pointed out, only one dart at the bullseye so far. 2 at tops available. Can't find it. Oh, we saw the 147 total clearance. Can we see the big fish? No.
82. They require 40.
To put his first leg on the board, Dave Chisnall comes down for the 10s. Oh, you've got to find it from there, Davey boy. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. 5-0 to Anderson after 5 darts were missed at double by Dave Chisnall.
He thought he could see a light at the end of the tunnel. It just so happened to be the Flying Scotsman coming along the rails.
Yes, it was. It was a train coming the other direction. There have been 7 whitewashes recorded in the Premier League. None of those by Gary Anderson. But he's sniffing one here, all right.
Well, we talk about players that have got scoring power. Gary Anderson's stats, 7 140s, 4 180s. That's 11 to 3 tons. When you ever see that, you know that someone is pretty good on the treble 20.
Well, in a a position just to ride this leg out and cruise to the finishing line. And then, as he leaves tops after a dozen darts, and then Chisnall would have to hold his own throw to avoid the whitewash. To avoid adding his name to the Hall of Shame. Double 10. Oh, may not matter.
Look how quick Gary Anderson's getting to the hockey. He can't wait to let go of these darts. Oh, will he move? I think he should have moved to the left. No, to the left, Gary. Moved to the left, it would have opened up. So a rare chance for Dave Chisnall. A gift from Gary Anderson.
Oh, and Dave Chisnall, who whitewashed Robert Thornton 7-0 last year, is pinning his hopes on Anderson missing double one, and he has done. Well, Anderson has effectively missed 8 darts to close this leg out. 7 at double, but effectively 8 after splitting the double 5. Oh, Dave, I bet that feels good. That must be a huge relief, because no professional darts player or any professional sportsman wants to be whitewashed in any match. And although he had to have a huge helping hand from Gary Anderson, he has at least avoided that humiliation. It's an awful feeling when you're scratching around trying to get that O to go next to your name, Rod, isn't it?
It certainly is. You put yourself under so much pressure, and then you get some people say, oh, your opponent give you the leg. I can assure you, if they get a chance to thrash you, they do. And they just happen to mention it a few times in the following weeks as well.
85.
As I said, Chisnall inflicted a whitewash on Robert Thornton last year. In fact, Thornton was whitewashed twice last year by Phil Taylor and Dave Chisnall. Alongside Wade, Taylor himself, by Van Gerwen, Whitlock, Jenkins, and it almost goes without saying, Wayne Mark. Good evening, Wayne.
Don't forget that one.
That leaves the 170.
Well, this would be the comeback of all comebacks, I believe, if Chizzy can get a point out of this.
Well, we've seen a biggie tonight in that regard from Raymond van Barneveld, haven't we? From 1-4 behind Jelle Klaassen to get up 7-5. And Chisnall here, a chance to make things even more respectable. That leaves the bull.
59.
Well, by hitting the 1, it's caused him not to have a dart even at the bullseye. Oh, the big 9. Don't snatch this one, Chiz. No, that's clean. As is the double 8. 2 legs on the board. Need 4 more to go for Dave Chisnall. Those 2 wins last week were so crucial for him, weren't they? I mean, you know, the form coming into last week was not good. We feared the worst, but fair play. He stepped up to the plate, beating Barney and James Wade.
Well, as I repeatedly say, Rodney, any outcome is possible, no matter how unlikely it may seem. There's a few people watching a football match last night who've come round to that way of thinking. And Chisnall here, it ain't over till it's over, because if he can nick this one against the darts and then hold, suddenly it'll start to look a little bit squeaky for the darling of the Glasgow crowd. 5-0 it was. Really ought to have been 6. Now it's 5-2.
131.
Could leave him a dart at the bullseye when he returns. And when you have got the scoring power with Chisnall, you've always got that chance. So 4 20s. Just moves to the right, just to tick off the right-hand side of the treble. Just do that.
44.
However, Henderson may only get 1 dart at a double.
important visit, this. Well, that's a good miss. Leaves 20 for tops.
49, Dave Chisnall, 86.
Now then, double 16.
Well,
there is a darts match on here. 5-0 has become 5-1, has become 5-2, has become 5-3, and suddenly Gary Anderson has only got one break of throw in hand.
Well, when he was 5-0 up, his average was over 111.
16.
Well over 10 points have been knocked off that average. He missed all those darts of the double. It's just upset the scoring side of things.
Well, all those 180s, all 4 that Anderson hit, came in the first 3 legs of the match. He hasn't had one since in the next 5.
190.
So as you said, Rod, the scoring has hit a bit of a dry spell. Chisnall is well on the way to taking advantage here. This is a huge leg. I didn't even think we were playing a 9th leg at one point, but the 9th leg has become absolutely pivotal.
Well, we knew Chizzy wouldn't give up. He hasn't got that in his locker at all. He's a fighter. However, he needs to get home with 6 darts from here, which is not going to happen now.
60, Gary Chisnall, 138.
Oh, will he stay there? Will he go 18s? 18s, that leaves double 12.
126.
So Gary Anderson for a rock stopper on double 6. That does stop the rock. That stops a streak of 3 consecutive legs by his opponent, and Anderson now secures a point. But a point would be a measly return after you've led 5-0. He will be absolutely seething if he doesn't go on with it from here, Gary Anderson.
Yes, and when Gazza is seething, he is rather a big seether, isn't he?
A good visit. Well, 2 good visits, in point of fact, by Anderson in this leg. The leg he hopes will be the last of the match.
55.
Yeah, so what makes it worse for Chizzy? It's with the throw as well, so it's compounded. The control that Anderson, yeah, this is an absolute first-class leg. When you need to get over the line, you know, we always say throw a 12 darter, take your opponent completely out of the equation and walk off the stage.
Double 4. That was for the match, and he's coming back for an awkward double 2. The question is, will Chisnall even be on a finish? He's going to find the treble 19 to leave the biggest possible finish.
98.
Well, okay, fair enough. Leaves 167. And a match that started with some sublime scoring from the Flying Scotsman ends on a double 1. Brilliant stuff early on in the piece from the former world champ in front of his adoring public. He roared into a 5-0 lead, and in the end he staggered over the line, but he has won. Gary Anderson gets the job done. 7-3.
Fans on their feet. It's been a cracking night by the Clyde here in Glasgow. Gary, just tell me what it's like to play in front of this lot.
It's great and terrible at the same time, you know. I mean, standing through the back, getting ready to walk on, nerves are shot to bits. But I must say, I've done a lot of things in my life. This will be one of the ones that I take back to my grave with me, you know, playing in front of my own crowds, back in Scotland. That does it for me.
Did you have a lump in your throat, a tear in your eye when you came on stage? I sense you were holding back the tears.
No, that was nerves. That was nerves. Yeah, I mean, Chizzy's a great friend of mine, you know, he's a great lad. in Scotland it's always going to be hard, you know. We only get 2 tournaments a year in Scotland, you know. I wish there was a lot more. I mean, they're a good bunch, really, you know. But no, I mean, it's just nice to be back playing in Scotland and get a win.
It's a very good humoured crowd. It's a great crowd, the Glasgow audience.
It is. I mean, Scotland, all the years that I've played in Scotland, we have got so many good dart players that just never came on the scene. You know, they've no gave themselves that little push. You know, there's a lot of boys in here I've played darts with over the last 20 years. Fantastic dart players, you know, and I wish we could get more of them to come through.
Just talk about the game. You started off brilliantly, got the 1-4-7 to make it 3-0, powered into 5-0. It looked like you were home and hosed and finish him off and maybe whitewash him, but he showed heart there, didn't he, Chizzy?
I was trying, you know. I mean, I missed a few Chizzy took out, and I know what Chizzy's like. I mean, he's most dangerous when he's behind. You know, he just keeps coming back at you and coming back at you. But no, very much happy that I got the win in Glasgow.
Next week you've got Raymond van Barneveld in Holland.
Complete reverse. No, listen, I've got a good scoreline against Raymond, but to play Raymond in Holland, I think will be fantastic.
Just a word to the crowd, because they've given you great support. Would you like to say something to them?
Thank you very much. It's home time yet.
If you want to go to the pub, there's 10,000 Scotsmen who'll buy you a pint. It could be a great night for you here, Gary.
There's a lot of coffee. Don't drink pints. There's a lot of coffee.
Just tell me how the dart scene is at the moment. You're playing well, but the competition is tougher than it's ever been. So many players playing well.
Every year it gets harder. You know, every year there's so many youngsters coming through. I keep saying the old boys are still at the top. Youngsters have not, except for Michael Van Gelman, of course, the youngsters have not kind of pushed the old boys yet. The old lads are still doing all right just now. I reckon next year, 2 years, it could be a big, different story.
Do you think the crowd in Rotterdam will be louder than this? It can't be possible, can it?
I don't know. The only good point I've got, I can't speak Dutch, so I don't know what they're saying. You know, but I think Barney, Michael against Taylor, myself against Raymond, I think it's going to be a really good night.
Just go out there, wave to the crowd, say thank you to the fans.
You,
Gary, well done, mate. Brilliant.